is Jen, and this is Jen Geigley Knits, and welcome to day 7 of Vlogmas. Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a good week. It is really nice and sunny here. We're having kind of a warm-ish day, which is really nice. Bo, my husband, is out on a bike ride. He took the day off work and he's enjoying the nice weather. I had a meeting today and did some freelance work and knocked a bunch of stuff out earlier today, and now I'm feeling ambitious. And I got out the Christmas tree box to put up the tree maybe tonight. And I also got out the quilt squares that are from the Iowa Quilt Museum. If you watch a couple episodes back, I went to the Iowa Quilt Museum to see the Kay Facet exhibit with Kay Gardner from Modern Daily Knitting, and we sort of adopted this quilt that is super old and still in blocks, but it's all ready to go. But these are made of a lot of vintage clothing and vintage feed sacks, which is kind of interesting, and we couldn't let it just sit there. We had to take it with us. So I, behind me, just spent some time. Oh, you cannot see it. It's too low on the ground, but I'll show you in a minute. I have spent some time laying out the blocks. I got out my sewing machine. I'm gonna put it back here in a minute once I get everything stacked. And I'm gonna stack each row and start sewing my rows together. I was thinking about hand piecing the blocks together, but I think realistically I just need to sew them on my sewing machine. Also, let me show you my cute sewing machine. So this little guy, he's so tiny. It's an Axe Yamazaki machine. Actually, it's from the MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art. And this is gonna be its maiden voyage. I need to think of a good, clever name. I have a really old machine downstairs. It's like a brother, and I've had it for years and years and years, but this is so much more my aesthetic. And it's so cute. It is meant to be a small, basic machine that looks cool and can fit on a bookshelf. Like, it is meant and designed to look nice and clean and minimal, and to fit into your home and to be pulled out on a regular basis. And I like something that's small that I don't have to work to put away and get it out all the time. So I was just very attracted to this. So I just threaded it up with my matching cotton cream thread that this person so lovingly used on the back. You can see some of their hand stitches. I have to kind of go through and look at these. I have a few extra squares, I think they're called orphan squares, blocks, that I'm gonna make sure. It's so hard to weed 3 of these out in the layout, but I think those on the floor are the ones that go with each other the best. And it's still kind of random looking, but I really wanna get it going. I wanna get it sewn together. And then Kay has kindly offered, if her offer still stands, she wants to hand quilt it and then send it back to me, and I'll do the binding. So it's like a group project. So I wanna do my part and get it at least put together, because I feel like this is like the Loose Threads project, where you're like helping someone finish their unfinished craft projects, and we're gonna get this done and make it into a real quilt. I feel passionate about it, especially with these old feed sack. You know, these aren't the reproduction prints, these are the real deal, and you can tell it's made of shirts and clothing. Some of it looks like military uniform squares, like this green. So we're really analyzing it, and it's just really neat and special and cool. And so I'm gonna go get my little vintage table. I have a little vintage sewing table also that I found on Facebook Marketplace. It's like mid-century modern wood with the metal legs. And so I'm gonna try it out with my new little baby sewing machine and get some of these quilt blocks put together. Actually, before I start sewing, I'm going to open my advents for today. So if you don't want to see this part, skip ahead to the sewing part. The advents I have this year are Chelsea yarns and Magpie Fibers. So if you don't want to see them, just skip this part. But I'm going to get out my big Chelsea tote again and find day 7 and look at the card to see what it is. It says FAO yarn, which I assume is like FAO Schwartz, the toy store, maybe? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that means something else, but. So I'm gonna guess like red or, I don't know. Oh, so maybe it's like toys. FAO yarn, like FAO toys. This is beautiful. Fuchsia, purple, like on a mint background. This bright yellow that I love, orange, all the colors. Really, really fun. Like some citrusy colors. That's super fun. I love like this little section. So it's FAO yarn on day 7 from Chelsea Yarns. Put these back. And Magpie. This today, I thought yesterday was the last box in this set of boxes, but it's actually today with the 7. And let me pull this guy out. It's yarn. Aries. And another blue hue. This is beautiful, like a sky blue with little specks in it. Darker blue and orange and pink. And just little tiny bits of color in there. There's like that deeper blue. Very, very pretty and very coordinating with the rest of these. All the blues, which I love. So that's today's advents. What else? Ooh, I do have Arne and Carlos catch up to show you because something happened in the stripe sequence. So yesterday's clue turned these into the little Norwegian woven hearts that they, I think they sometimes make them out of fabric and paper. I have one on our tree that's made of felt maybe. We don't have our tree yet, but we're working on that. It's the little woven hearts that are like red, white woven, and then they make a basket and you can put treats in them or candy. And so those kind of formed yesterday, and they kind of hinted that we might be switching back to green. So I haven't looked at today's clue yet, but it's really fun knitting. It's like, what, like this much a day-ish. So I'm very proud of myself for keeping up because I have a lot of other things happening, but this is kind of my nighttime wind down lately. And sometimes I do 2 days at a time, but last night I just did the one, so I'm caught up and I'm very happy about it because it's really fun, and I'm sure we're gonna get to the heel pretty soon, have like a heel day maybe, and then keep going up, and I'm excited to see what's happening here in the stocking. And now let's take a look at the quilt I'm working on. Here's all the blocks laid out on the floor. It's like a 5x6 block quilt, and you can see they're all totally different. And I think I'm gonna stack them into rows and start piecing them together on my machine if I have time. Now I have to look and see if I actually have time to do this, but I'm gonna try to at least get started. I swear I'm gonna get to the sewing in a minute, but it suddenly seemed like the right time to put up the Christmas tree, so I just did that really quick, put up the stockings and got out the Christmas bin of random things and got some of that ready because tonight we might be able to decorate the tree after school maybe. Lotus is going to a movie and I might be going to a thing called Jingle in the Junction, but we might still have time. If we don't have time tonight, maybe tomorrow night, maybe not, because Lotus works tomorrow night. Every day there's something. So I thought I would at least get it up because it's December 7th. And then when we do have time, we'll be ready to decorate it. We just have to throw on some lights. The kids, you know, it takes like a half hour and the ornaments will be on. So maybe we'll do it after school today. We'll see. I got out our little advent pockets so I can put our Hershey's Kisses inside. Sometimes I'll put little extra notes or fun things inside too, but I just usually do the Hershey's Kisses because it's easy. And then I got our advent candles out, and I have another candle from the Chris Kindle Market that I'm going to show you a different night. And then if you watched here last year, you might remember my stockings. I knitted these and they are made with Pearl Soho's Gentle Giant yarn. And they're beautiful and gorgeous and chunky. And I added little tassels and pom-poms to each one, and they are very, very fun. They're my favorite thing to get out each year because they were just really fun to make and I love them very much. Okay, so now I think I am ready to sew. So I'm gonna get out my little table, get my sewing machine set up, and maybe get a row or two of these done before I pick up the kids from school. I didn't finish stitching together all the blocks, but I got a lot done. Time to make the coffee. And open the Advent. When the kids got home from school, we decorated the tree. Thanks for hanging out with me today and helping me put up my Christmas tree and help me start my sewing. Happy almost weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.